As you have probably been able to tell, Sinnoh has been the talk of the town for the past little while, and with Sinnoh remakes as well as a Sinnoh prequel game being confirmed just a little while ago, that is not going to stop anytime soon. Between that and the fact that Sinnoh is just in general one of the most fan-favorite regions of all time, you probably know a thing or two about it, especially if you watch a lot of YouTube videos. However, with that being said, I'm willing to bet that there are still some very interesting things that you haven't heard or weren't aware of about the Sinnoh region. In fact, this is something I'm hoping to do for every generation of Pokemon, so if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and with that said, let's get into 10 facts about Sinnoh that you may not know about. Why don't we start things off with Crasher Wake, because he is as good of a starting point as any, to be honest. He's also one of the more unique gym leaders that are out there, being a water-type specialist, but being based around a wrestler, which provides for a pretty unique combination. With that in mind, a few months ago there was actually a leak of some beta elements from Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, and one of these included an early look at all of the gym leaders, and while most of them look pretty much the same to the way they do in the final, Crasher Wake actually has a significantly different design in this headshot, where his mask covers his entire face instead of just part of it like we see in the final game. Due to the fact that it's only a headshot we have access to here, the change in design is pretty small overall, but it is still one that is immensely interesting. And speaking of that Diamond and Pearl beta leak, there are a couple more things from it of extreme note that we're going to be covering in this video today, and one of them concerns Beta Combee. Now, as a part of this leak, we were introduced to a beta design of Combee that looks significantly different to the way it does in the final game. However, what you may not know, even if you've seen this beta Combee design before, is the fact that we were already introduced to it before it was revealed to us in this beta leak. That's right, this beta Combee design was actually revealed to the world a few years before the Pokemon Diamond and Pearl leak happened, and that actually occurred in the National Pokedex guidebook for Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon of all things, where a rough sketch of this design, complete with its back sprite, was included in the book. It's pretty interesting that this beta design was slipped into this book without really any fanfare at all, but it's not the only thing that essentially confirms the legitimacy of this Diamond and Pearl leak. Another Pokemon in this leak that we got to see the beta form of is Darkrai, who looks somewhat similar, but again, significantly different to the way it does in the final game. However, there are some remnants from this beta design of Darkrai that actually made it into an official product, and that would be the Pokemon's movie, The Rise of Darkrai. Now, obviously, Darkrai carries its final design in this movie, but in the Japanese logo for the movie, you can very clearly see a symbol right in the middle of the logo that is directly taken from the beta version of Darkrai as opposed to the final version, showing that this movie was in production when the beta form of the Pokemon was what they had to work with. This connection to the beta in particular is really cool because it gives us a glimpse into how things work over at the Pokemon Company, both from an anime standpoint as well as a game standpoint, because it clearly shows that they were working on this movie before the games were even close to being finalized. Moving away from beta elements, however, there is a very interesting thing in these games that concerns the Sinnoh gym leader Maylene. Maylene's Japanese name is Sumomo, and that actually conflicts with another character that existed prior to Maylene in the series, as that is also the Japanese name of one of the Kimono girls from Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. This actually caused this Kimono girl's name to be changed in the Heart Gold and Soul Silver remakes to Komomo, and overall it's just really weird that they forgot that they had already given this name to someone else during Maylene's creation. Now, following the release of Pokemon Diamond and Pearl, we were of course given Pokemon Platinum as an enhanced version of those titles. However, it's possible that Pokemon Platinum was meant to release far before the Sinnoh region was even conceived. This is because a game named Pokémon Platinum was actually mentioned on the official Pokémon website in 1999. On the frequently asked questions section of the website, it was asked, quote, "Are there plans to release the green, silver, gold, platinum, or Pikachu versions of Pokémon in the US? How about the Nintendo 64 Pokémon Stadium and other 64-bit Pokémon games?" To which the website answered, "At this time, there are no plans to bring any other Pokémon games to the US. However, if Pokémon catches on here like it did in Japan, new Pokémon games may make it out in North America. Be sure to check Pokemon.com for updates and announcements." Now this very obviously implies that there was a Pokemon Platinum game in existence back in 1999, even though the one we know of wouldn't release until about a decade later. So is this just a mistake on the website's part, or is there something actually going on here? Well, while it might be somewhat of a mistake, I am actually of the opinion that this might be evidence that Pokemon Crystal was originally going to be named Pokemon Platinum. If we look at the question, it is specifically citing several games from the Gen 1 to Gen 2 era of Pokemon, which would obviously include Pokemon Crystal. And Platinum is a name that fits absolutely perfectly with the other two main series Johto titles, Silver and Gold, as Platinum is a precious metal just like Silver and Gold that eclipses the two in value, which would make perfect sense in terms of it being the title for the enhanced version of the Silver and Gold games. So while this is just a theory on my part, this very well could be a slip-up that indicates that Pokemon Crystal was originally going to be called Pokemon Platinum before things were changed for some reason, and then the name Platinum was held onto and eventually given to the enhanced version of the Gen 4 titles about 10 years later. One thing in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum that is right out in the open for anyone to notice but can very easily go unnoticed is that the theme for the Underground is actually in part a remixed version of the theme from Route 111 in Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald. Take a listen to the similarities for yourself. In Sinnoh's Victory Road, there is a character by the name of Ace Trainer Omar, who, if you talk to him after defeating him in battle, will say, quote, "One day, people will run to the other side of the road when I walk by them." This is actually a reference to the popular TV series The Wire, where a character named Omar often has people running away from him when they see him walking down the street. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum are just a few Pokemon titles that were translated into English by Nob Ogasawara, and one of the things that Nob got to do as a part of this translation is give all of the Pokemon their English names. It was actually revealed by Nob in an interview that he actually wanted to name Spiritomb Phantomb instead, but for whatever reason, Nintendo of America rejected that name and went with Spiritomb instead. One of the signature elements of the Sinnoh games is the Pokétch item, which is basically a smartwatch that gives you access to a number of different helpful apps throughout your adventure. Given that the Gen 4 titles came about prior to the rise of smartwatches, it's hard to say whether the Pokétch has any real-world inspiration. However, it is really similar to the Timex Datalink USB watch, which is actually a watch that is certified by NASA and used by astronauts in space. Given that the Gen 4 titles are all about both time and space, it's very possible that the Pokétch was modeled after these watches, and it's a really interesting coincidence if nothing else. After defeating the Elite Four and Champion, you can actually come across one of the Elite Four, Lucian, in the Canalave Library reading from a book. If you talk to him, he will tell you a little bit about the book he is reading before heading back to the Pokemon League for a rematch with you, and depending on how many times you battle the Pokemon League, he will do this with a number of different books. After battling the Elite Four a few times, Lucian will describe that what he is reading to you is actually a collection of letters from an artist to their younger brother, in which the artist describes his love for the night sky. This is most likely a reference to Vincent van Gogh, who has been referenced multiple times in various Pokemon games, because he famously wrote many letters to his younger brother Theo, and also painted the iconic painting, The Starry Night. And last but not least, there is actually a glitch in Pokemon Diamond and Pearl specifically that can be encountered without the player having to really even try. If you head to the send-off spring on your bike, which is where Giratina is ultimately located, and then return to the exiting Route 214 also on your bike, there will be no music playing on the route whatsoever, and it'll be completely silent until you either exit the area or encounter a wild Pokemon. Go ahead and check it out for yourself. And there we have it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new for more Pokemon content all the time. You can also greatly support the channel and videos like this by listening to my Pokemon remixes on Spotify and checking out my Pokemon Cardinal series here on YouTube. With that said, I will see you guys very soon with another video, and until then, as always, I love you all, and I will smell you guys later.